You like Trump? Good girl. You like Biden? Come on, man. We cheated. Okay, Wayne. Your amplifier's done. Got some nice little green lights fan kit on it. It had burn up 104s here. I guess that's what it was. I would say that's what it was. And I replaced them with some nicer ones. At least I guess there was. They were so burnt up I couldn't tell really anyways. But these hold a little bit more wattage. Voltage. Anyways, I added some capacitance to the output transformers. It's got some in the back here, but I had some on the front too. And retuned it a little bit. Changed the resistor here so you could drive it a little bit harder. I can put 4 watts into it now, where before you could only put about a watt in it. So you lost a little bit on the top end, but it all depends on what kind of radio you got. This is a little stock 29 pretty much. Got a swing kit in it, but this thing runs pretty good. Let me change my battery out. This camera loves batteries, which you get about an hour out of it. So, and the biggest drawback to this amp is ground. The ground's all the way back here, and you really don't want to stretch it over top of everything and kind of catch it here, but it needs it here, 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 and here. A lot of this is ground. It's the reason this is all beefed up, and that's the reason nobody beefs these things up a lot. I mean, you might see one every now and again, but no. I mean, they'll strip the whole board out, put a whole new board in it, and do it like that. But for its ground, it just ain't much to be had. I mean, I can make it look all screwed up and throw some wires from here over here, here to here, and here to there. But nah, I just look all screwed up. But it's mostly ground. Everything in it's done right. It's perfect. I mean, I added a little bit because HGs take a little bit more on the front, on the output side of it. Now, I changed the input tune a little bit. It was a 100, and I went down to about a 47, and it looks a little better on the meter. It was about a watt reflect, which ain't a lot. Conservatively, but you want to try to get as low as you possibly can. But like I said, the drawbacks to this thing is ground, but it's doing what it probably done before. I don't know. I think I'm seeing about 650 out of it. I was seeing 700 to 750 out of it before, but like I said, with 1 watt, it'll put it out easy. But if you go to run a different radio on it, or anything without any kind of variable power, I don't know what you're gonna run on it. But I just try to fix it the best way I know how when I do it. So it's doing pretty good. It's a 1,000-watt slug, sit right here. See my finger? Right here. 1,000-watt slug, so you're reading that bottom scale on that meter here. It's in peak. Oh, so about 650, and reflect on it. Hello, about a half a watt. So it's looking good. And like I said, the big drawback to this thing is ground, and more ground. It needs more of it. It's got 2879 HD 16 DO8s in it. It's got one driving 4. That's a 2879 too. And it's just, it wants ground. And it just can't get it the way it is. So it is what it is. I think it's going to run alright. I know I read in the paperwork that you've been waiting on this thing a long time, and I'm sorry for that. Ain't nothing I can do about it. But somebody else had it before I did, but it didn't take long to get it up and running. It's all tuned out pretty good. It's pretty much built like what we would build one on a solid copper board, other than a few little caps and all these damn resistors on the front of it. But without that, it really wouldn't be too drivable the way it is in this board laid out. I mean, you have no shielding from the input going through here, so that's all we can do. So, alright, I think she's going to be fine. I've keyed on it. Audio 1111111. Hello 1111111. Hello 1111111. I've got it kind of warm. It's late at night. It's 2:30 in the morning. I've had about 4 hours of sleep, and I don't feel really too good right now. I'd like to get my ass up there and get into bed. I got a tear down amp that I really hate to tear down and completely rebuild. It's one that I built, and it just ain't acting right. So I'm going to tear it down and might try to see if I can get a little bit of sleep before I do that. But it is what it is. So, alright then, y'all have a good day. This Boomer 600, don't even ask me to modify one of these things. Don't even ask. You can buy one cheaper than you can do anything to it. It's pointless. So there it is. I don't like working on these things, but since it's already been modified and I didn't have to do all this modification to it, I worked on it. But I mean, if it's just a little one and needs a little tuning or something, all that's fine. But as far as rebuilding one, or one needs a peel in it or something like that, fine. But as far as completely trying to modify it and get something out of it, it's not enough ground. Not enough ground. Not enough surface area for ground in this thing. I mean, you got to take the ground goes here, goes around, goes through this little tiny strip, and gets over to here. You kind of see it over here on this side. the ground is here, and it goes around on this side, comes around, hits that. This side, it has to creep all the way around, and hell, it don't even hit it on that side. The ground on this side pretty much stops here, all of a sudden, that little thin layer. Pretty much that's all the ground in that damn thing. The ground comes down on a little thin ass strip over here and goes over here and catches ground over here again. But the ground chokes down right here in this little spot. Gets really tiny. Really tiny over here. So it just ain't enough to do it. It's probably got a little ground through the board into the chassis maybe. These slide in, but it ain't nothing to write home about. That's just the issue with these things. So, alright. You take it for what it's worth. Y'all have a good day. Put this thing back together. Preamp is working on it. High, medium, and low is working on it. Fan works on it. It's got a switch out in the back for it. Looks pretty good. Really didn't need but one fan, but it makes it look cool. Good job on it. Really good job. More than I'd have done to it. It just ain't worth it. But you got what you got. Alright then, have a good day. Later.